All right, thank you, Kirk, for the intro here on how those options work. And I'd actually like to dive into the reserve just a bit today and compare some of those investment vehicles for the reserve. There is not just one solution. You'll need to take into account all of the unique variables for each of your clients independently. But again, as Kirk had mentioned, for that reserve, we can put it into many different vehicles to accomplish the desired function we're looking for, which is very low risk and, of course, highly liquid. And then just to recap some of the things that Kirk had mentioned as different options for the reserve, we can take a look at cash or maybe short-term CDs. He had mentioned treasuries and even short-term bonds. But then moving into a focus on life insurance. And you may ask yourself why in the world I would use life insurance with an option strategy. And to answer that, I'd like to take a look at it from a money manager standpoint to see why and to see how if these assets compare over time. So first of all, bonds and insurance policies are only as good as the companies that are backing them. The insurance companies that are used have extremely high credit ratings. They've got steady returns and have literally been around since before the Civil War. Bonds can come from very stable companies as well, but generally they don't enjoy the same ratings or histories that the insurance companies do. The insurance cash values do not have interest rate risk, and they don't fluctuate with the market headlines and the day-to-day movements like bonds do. But most importantly, let's look at expected performance. So the red line on here represents that reserve in bonds after they're done paying the taxes on the income and then, of course, the advisory fee. And this is how it illustrates compared to transitioning into that same amount of money into life insurance policy. That works well with the IOP. That green line represents the surrender value of the policy that's on there. And then notice that how at about year 7 that life insurance starts to rapidly outperform the bonds. The reason for that is because after taxes and the advisory fees, the insurance is actually expected to be worth much more. Add to this the fact that the primary benefit of an insurance policy is the death benefit, and now you can see that the insurance becomes so much more compelling as a tool to take an investment plan to a whole new level. And different policies have different characteristics, and I always like to throw this one up here of how a 10-pay policy might look as far as illustration goes, and that top line, once you throw a death benefit on top of there. So again, improved performance with far less risk, and with this option strategy, it's not just what you own. It is how you can own those different stocks, funds, or shares differently. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up for any questions for either myself or Kirk as it pertains to the integrated options strategy. And also, we're more than happy to jump on a call one-on-one if any of you would like to have that as you dive deeper into this. My contact info is on the screen, and please reach out to me directly and we'll get that set up. So I'm going to start reading here on some of the questions that have come through here most recently. But again, thank you everybody for your time today, and I hope we get an opportunity to work with you guys here shortly.